friends, today we're going to review Skills 5, Lesson 13. Let's look at our learning targets. I can identify the f sound at the beginning of oral words. I can read words spelled with F and FF. I can read words with ch and j and write the words and fill in the blank sentences. I can add the correct end punctuation to written sentences. I can write a statement, a question, and an exclamation. I can read the visit and answer questions about key details in the story. Let's practice on listening for the beginning sound. Today, we're going to review the f sound, as in fit. Say it again. Is a vowel sound or a consonant sound? That's right, it is a consonant sound. I want to say several words. Some of the words begin with the f sound and some will not. Close your eyes and listen carefully. Raise your hand when you hear a word that begins with the f sound. The first word is fast. You're going to see this picture. That means your hand should be raised. Let's practice. Fast. Very good. The next word is face. Hand. Let's try another one. Vet. No, you do not hear the f sound at the beginning of vet. Now I'm going to go a little bit faster. Thin. Fun. This. Farm. Van. Friend. Vend. Awesome job. Now, let's review the spellings for the f sound. We know two ways to spell the f sound. Let's look at my consonant code flip book. I have two sound spelling cards. My first way to spell the f sound is the letter F. Let's look at our power bar. Is this spelling going to be common or not so common? That's right, this spelling is going to be pretty common. Let's look at some sample words. The sample word on this card is fit. Two more words that have the f sound spelled F are frog and life. Let's look at another spelling. FF. Stuff is our sample word. Is this spelling going to be common or not so common? That's right, not so common. Let's look at two more words I have. Off and stuff. Now, let's fill in the blanks. Take out your Skills 5 activity workbook and turn to page 13.1 on page 65. The box contains different spelling alternatives that we have been reviewing. The first thing you need to do is write your name at the top of your paper. Go ahead and write today's date as well. Let's look at number 1. Read it with me. Will you munch on blank snaps after dinner? Which word best describes what type of snaps we will eat? Muffins snaps or ginger snaps? Ginger snaps. Write it on the blank and let's draw a line through it. We were late because of off, or we were late because of traffic. Which one sounds best? We were late because of traffic. Very good. Let's cross that word out. James made blank to share with his pals. James made muffins to share with his pals. James made after to share with his pals. James made stagecoach to share with his pals. James made off to share with his pals. Which one sounds the best? Muffins. Amazing. I can go today blank class. I can go today off class. I can go today legend class. I can go today after class. Which one sounds the best? After. Super. Outlaws robbed the stagecoach. Outlaws robbed the off. Stagecoach. Very good. I must get blank the bus. I must get off the bus. I must get legend the bus. I must get matches the bus. That's right. I must get off the bus. Nan shared a blank with us. Nan shared a legend with us. Nan shared a matches with us. Legend. That's right. Last one. Do you need... Oh, we only have one word left. What is it? Matches. Do you need matches for the fire? Sounds good to me. Let's review our learning targets. I can identify the sound at the beginning of oral words. We did that with the hands up activity. I can read words spelled with the sound, spelled F and FF. We did that in our consonant code flip book. I can read words with F and FF, ch and j, and write words in fill in the blank sentences. And we just completed that activity page. Now we're going to add the correct end punctuation to written sentences, write a statement, a question, and an exclamation, and read the visit and answer questions about key details in the story. Statements, questions, and exclamations. We learned about 3 types of sentences: questions, statements, and exclamations. Tell someone next to you a statement. Now tell them a question. And lastly, tell them an exclamation. Let's look at these 3 sentences. You're going to help me think through which punctuation mark to put at the end. Let's read number 1 together. Number 1, did they catch him? Is that a question, a statement, or an exclamation? That's a question. That's cool. Is that a question, a statement, or an exclamation? That's an exclamation. Bart shaped up in the end. Is that a statement, a question, or an exclamation? That's a statement. Skills 5 Activity Workbook and turn to activity page 13.2 on page 67. Write your name and today's date. I'll give you a second. Read the sentences to determine which punctuation to add to the first 5 items. And then for number 6, 7, and 8, you're going to create your own question, exclamation, and statement. Let's look at number 1. The kitten sleeps. Go ahead and write which punctuation mark you think should go at the end. Okay, let's see if you're right. The kitten sleeps is a statement. I can't sleep because my bug bites itch. Statement, question, exclamation. That's a statement. Will the chicks hatch soon? That's a question. Do not yell. Is that a question? No, that's not a question. Just because it has the word do does not mean it's a question. That's a statement. Roger can cook. That's a statement. For number 6, write your own question. Now, number 7, write an exclamation. On number 8, write a statement. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need more time. Our learning targets. I can identify the f sound at the beginning of oral words. I can read words spelled with f and ff. I can read words with ch and j, and write the words in fill-in-the-blank sentences. I can add the correct end punctuation to written sentences. I can write a statement, a question, and an exclamation. And lastly, I can read the visit and answer questions about key details in the story. Today, we're going to learn about what happens after Jack finishes telling his tale at the campsite. When Kate and everyone arrived at their campsite, there was work to do to set up their camping gear. They had to unpack sleeping bags, tents, lanterns, matches, and food. They also had to set up tents. Before going to sleep, there are additional things that have to be done when camping. Let's review some spellings. Some spellings that end with ed are stuffed, hoisted, and flipped. Some spellings that end with ing are telling, standing, and betting. Other 2-syllable words you may see in the text are visit, raccoons, and clatter. And lastly, some tricky words you will see are what, who, why, and because. Can't means cannot. That's. That is. Let's review some vocabulary. This first word is pawpaw. Pawpaw is another name for grandfather. Foxes. Furry animals about the size of a small dog that usually lives in woods. Raccoons. Raccoons are furry animals about the size of a cat that usually lives in woods. Clatter. A clatter is a loud noise that sounds like things banging together. Scraps. Scraps are little bits and pieces. Scram. Scram is an expression used to tell someone to leave quickly. Get lost. Get lost is an expression used to tell someone to leave quickly. Let's read today's story to find out what happens at the campsite after Jack's tale. Let's use context clues to figure out what the word hoisted means. Follow along with me as I read. After telling us the tale, Jack said, "It's time to pack up the food." We stuffed the food into a large pack with a rope on it. Jack tossed the rope up into a tree and hoisted the food pack up so that it was hanging 10 feet off the ground. "Pawpaw," said Max, "why do we have to keep the food up in the tree?" "Because it will keep the food safe from foxes and raccoons that would like to snack on it," Jack said. We crawled into the tents, flipped off our lanterns, and went to sleep. Nan and I slept well until a loud clatter outside woke us up. "What was that?" I asked. "I can't tell," said Nan as she hugged me close to her. Jack ran outside with his lantern and yelled, "Get out of here! Scram! Get lost!" When we went outside, we saw Jack and Max standing there. Jack had his lantern. "Jack," Nan asked, "who came to visit?" "I did not see it," said Jack, but I'm betting it was a fox who was looking for some scraps of food. He bumped into the pots and pans. The clatter of the pots and pans must have scared him off. Is that why we hoisted the food pack up in the tree? Max asked. That's why, said Jack. Who is the narrator of the story? Who's telling the story? Kate is the narrator telling the story. The story said that Jack tossed the rope up into a tree and hoisted the food pack up so it was hanging 10 feet off the ground. What does the word hoisted mean? How do you know? Hoisted means to have lifted something up high. We know because in the story it says Jack tossed the rope up into a tree and hoisted the food pack up so that it was hanging 10 feet off the ground. Why should you keep your food up high at night when camping? That's right. You should keep your food up high to keep it safe from animals. How do Kate and Nan feel when they hear the clatter in the night? How do you know? Kate and Nan feel a little scared. Nan hugs Kate close to her, showing that she is trying to protect Kate, and they stay in their tent until they hear Jack. Who does Jack think came to visit the campsite? Jack thinks it was probably a fox looking for scraps of food to eat. Turning your Skills 5 workbook to activity page 13.3 on page 69. Go ahead and write your name and today's date at the top. We're going to think about what we read and fill in the blank with words that best retell the story. Number 1, they stuffed the food into a large pack. They done that one for us. Let's trace the word pack. Go ahead and cross it out. Number 2, they kept the food pack up in a tree. They kept the food pack up in a pots and pans. They kept the food pack up in a tent, or they kept the food pack up in a lantern. Very good, a tree. Make sure you're crossing it out up at the top. They all went to sleep in their, what do we sleep in? That's right, we sleep in tents. The loud clatter of, what clattered in the story? Pots and pans woke them up. Number 5, to see in the dark, they used our last word is lantern. Why did Jack hoist the food up in the tree? He wants to keep the food safe from foxes and raccoons. We found that answer on page 32. Number 7, draw one of the parts of the visit. At the end of the story, you can rewind and go back and pause to draw one of your favorite parts. Let's review our learning targets. I can identify the sound at the beginning of oral words. I can read words spelled with F and FF. I can read words with ch and j and write the words in fill-in-the-blank sentences. I can add the correct end punctuation to written sentences. I can write a statement, a question, and an exclamation. I can read the visit and answer questions about key details in the story. Happy learning!